The workhorse is gone. What will Kentucky's ground attack look like in 2019? Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. Please check me out at my YouTube channel. And, of course, keep it locked in here at SC1 SEC for discussion, debate, and analysis of college football. We are looking at the Wildcats ground attack for 2019, minus the guy I referenced earlier, Benny Snell, probably the best back in Kentucky football history. 1,449 yards rushing, 5 yards per pop last season, and 16 rushing touchdowns. He totaled almost 3,900 rushing yards and 48 touchdowns in his career. And the numbers are even more staggering if you consider the lack of a passing attack to support what Benny Snell did on the ground. Every defense in the SEC, every defense on the Wildcat schedule knew that was the marked man. That was the key to stopping Kentucky, to keeping points off the board, was stopping Benny Snell. Gang up in the box, stop him. Stop number 26. And he just continued to pound defenses between the tackles without the breakaway speed. Usually didn't gain his yards by running for 40 and 50 yards a pop. But time after time again, between the tackles, in space, in small spaces, knowing how to read the block, how to lower his shoulder, when to take on defenders, and just wear down defenses in the fourth quarter. And really, he and the defense were the reason why Kentucky went 10-3, won double digits for the first time in forever, and finished in the top 10 for the first time since 1977. They beat Florida for the first time in 34 years, and Benny Snell ran for 175 yards in the swamp. Then against Mississippi State, one of the best defensive fronts in college football, Benny Snell ripped him up for $165. Again, without the support of a premier passing attack or even a marginal passing game. The South Carolina win was big. Benny Snell, 99 yards in that game. Against Vanderbilt, although a lower-tiered SEC team, of course, they stayed within a touchdown of Kentucky's woeful offensive production. And Benny Snell proved to be the difference once again at 169 yards against Vandy. And then, against Penn State as an underdog in the bowl game, Benny Snell ripped up the Nittany Lions for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Wildcats won the game 24-20. He is off to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what will Kentucky do now on the ground? Well, they basically turn it over to A.J. Rose, the junior out of Cleveland, Ohio, who did gain some positive yards and proved to be productive in Snell's absence in 2018. Typically, Benny Snell did not give the kind of breaks that other first number one running backs did get throughout the nation. He would typically come out of the game after a full first quarter load, and then one of the first series of the second quarter, A.J. Rose would step in and give Benny Snell a few downs off. He ran for 442 yards, 6.2 yards per carry, and 5 touchdowns. He had his biggest statistical efforts against Central Michigan, 104 yards and 112 yards against Louisville on just 10 carries. But maybe the most impressive effort for Rose in 2018 was against Mississippi State's top defensive front, as we alluded to, when he plowed ahead for 9 carries and 47 yards in a key win against the Bulldogs early in the season. A couple redshirt freshmen could play into the mix as well. Chris Rodriguez, the 64th rated running back coming out of high school football, according to 247 Sports, out of Georgia, a 3-star, and also another 3-star in Kavosli Smoke, a redshirt freshman, 55th rated athlete, according to 247 Sports, out of the state of Alabama 2 years ago. Saheem King, who would be going into his senior season, has transferred. He was injured after just 2 games in 2018. Just carried the football 12 times, but he's significant in that 2 years ago, he was Benny Snell's main relief, running for 364 yards in 2017, but he is transferred out of the program. Keep an eye out for Travis Tisdale, a true freshman, and the game-changing type of speed that Kentucky has been missing for a long, long time. Much needed. Despite losing Benny Snell and for the great work that he did and for being the number one back in the history of Kentucky football, he did not have the kind of speed that would change a game in one carry. Travis Tisdale possibly has that. He chose Kentucky over Nebraska, Ole Miss, and Penn State. He's the 37th rated running back coming out of high school football in Valdosta, Georgia. Number 18 running back according to ESPN. He ran for 1,903 yards and 21 touchdowns as the senior at Valdosta. And against their crosstown rival in the biggest game of the year, Tisdale ran for 413 yards and 6 touchdowns in one game. So Travis Tisdale, definitely, Kentucky would like to see him work himself into the mix, grasp the offense, and get some much-needed carries in relief of A.J. Rose because, again, he's bringing speed to the backfield that they currently don't have. That's our look at Kentucky football and the Wildcats' rushing attack for 2019. Would love to hear what you have to say about Kentucky's chances in the SEC Eastern Division and specifically how the Wildcats shape up in the backfield. Keep it locked in here at SG1 SEC and also join me at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. See you next time.